Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm trying to get used to this naked face Maverick. Ugh. Like I liked my sideburns and my little humble goatee and shit, but now I'm just naked face and it's not quite doing it for me. What do y'all think? That's irrelevant though. So y'all, here we are with the conclusion to season 3 of Insecure, man, and I'm just so disappointed. I mean, it was the season, you know what, we're gonna get there, but let me just say this. I would appreciate it if they're just not, because Princess Penny, the showrunner, said that they're not going to do more episodes and they're not even going to do longer episodes. But I feel like if you're going to do 8 episodes, at least have them 8 hour long episodes. That makes more sense to me. Like if you're going to have short episodes, you may as well just have 10. I mean, the time would still be the fucking same, but whatever. Maybe next season we'll get longer shit. But this episode was directed by the incomparable Emmy Award winning Regina King. I've loved Regina King since Boys in the Hood, Friday, and I kind of missed that Regina King because I missed that. I miss her voice being that high. It's all heavy and shit now. Like, what the fuck, Regina King? Is that age? Ugh. But anyway, so this episode of Ghost Like, okay, season 3, episode 8, Ghost Lie. You gotta say it like that, lie. But anyway, opens up with Issa soliciting vendors to donate food to her block party, Coachella, brought to you by motherfucking Musical Inc. with a Q, because the bitch gets things done quickly, okay? Say that with all the confidence. But with all that confidence, Issa was getting rejected and rejected and rejected. Them motherfuckers did not want to donate a goddamn to her motherfucking block party. They didn't give a fuck if it was for the people, by the people. They said the people say no so the people can get the fuck out of her goddamn face, asking them to donate some food to her shit. And I'm just like, oh, come on now, black people. Come on. Support people the way you want to be supported. You didn't have all this shit from the beginning. Okay, that's the problem. We never want to support each other's visions. Come on now. She trying to do something positive for the people that the people can enjoy, and they just like, y'all can't get no motherfucking catfish dinners. Y'all can get no monkey bread. Eat! Y'all can't do none of that for her. Why not? I don't see why not. Why not? Just donate a little bit. Shit, donate the shit that's gonna go bad the next day, okay? Donate the shit that's burnt. Donate something, okay? Just to be able to say that you fucking did it. But they said fuck that, and what had me dead was when Issa was talking to that weak ass bitch, and she asked him could he come through and showcase his music, and he was like, how many bitches gonna be there? And she just like, one bitch, all uneasily and shit like that. So the next scene, Issa's just like, ugh. Issa was so desperate, she even asked Mr. Robinson to bring a dog that he quote unquote does not have to the event, and he didn't even say yes. But you know who did? Trina's crazy ass, who needs to be fucking 302. Okay, the bitch who needs to be committed. Anyway, so the next scene, Issa is having lunch with Molly, and she's like, bitch, I'm not doing this motherfucking. She's discouraged as fuck, okay? She's like, I'm not doing this motherfucking event anymore. I'm putting that shit on hold because it's just way too hard. Nathan had me thinking I could do that shit within a week, and he was wrong, so that's why that nigga is Sandra Bullocked. And Issa was just so proud of that motherfucking play on Sandra Bullock's name. Like, come on, Issa. But anyway, Molly's just like, girl, don't worry about it. It's too much stress for you. You need to be worried about other things going on, like your motherfucking birthday. But she's like, I understand where you coming from, bitch, because my job is pissing me off. She's like, everybody's being petty. Ain't nobody fucking with me. They don't want to work with me. And here's the thing, like with Molly, like she's talking all this shit, but she's like, she's not telling Issa like what she did to get her to that place, because at that point she fucked over the homegirls at her job. Then she fucked over Torian, which I don't disagree with whatsoever. I agree with her fucking over that bitch because he would have did the same shit to her. Okay, do unto others how they would do unto you. Okay, That's exactly what the fuck Molly did. But Issa, is giving good advice. She's like, girl, just sit down with Torian and just explain to him where the fuck you come from. Because Molly so desperately wants to be on the partner track. That's her goal. It seems like every fucking lawyer's goal is to make partner. She's like, I'm not just trying to be an associate. I want to make partner. And she's like, well, girl, just explain that to him and maybe y'all could establish some common ground and help each other become partner. But Torian did he didn't put all that time in at Morehouse College to help somebody become partner. He want himself to be partner, which is why he is as salty as he is with Molly because he would have done the same shit to her. But anyway, she's like, fuck that. I'm gonna just tell that motherfucker he pretty and we gonna move on. And Issa's like, yeah, just add some more salt to your shade chips. She was so fucking proud of that joke. She had that big dumbass grin. Y'all know Issa got them big ass teeth. So after that scene, what was next? Oh, we see Lawrence, and we meet his father, and it's like, okay, here we are, third season in. The end of the third season, and we don't know who the fuck birthed Issa and what they look like. I'm like, is Issa Rae just waiting to find out, like, is she just waiting to hire Viola Davis and motherfucking, I don't know, Wesley Snipes to like be her parents to see if she can get them to come on the show and be her parents? It's like, why have we now seen we've seen both Molly's parents, we now see Lawrence's father, we still have no idea what Issa's parents look like. We see her brother, but we don't see her parents. Like, come on, Issa. But anyway, Lawrence is sitting down with his father, and they're having lunch, and he's like, what's all this for? He's like, man, I just wanted to see you. He really wanted some advice, and he's asking, my bad, y'all, itch. So he's asking him, what's been going on, as he asks Lawrence to set up his phone for him. And he's like, like most older people, I know someone who will never get rid of their flip phone. Long as that shit works, they're working it. So he's like, I was content with the flip, but it's your mother's idea, so choose your battles. Okay, so he just let her have her way with that shit, and he just went along with it and have his son fix it later. So he's telling him what's going on. He's like, Issa and I are talking, considering, which is good. And he's like, oh, so y'all not done. He's like, nah, we're done. I'm just thinking to myself, y'all ain't done. And he's like, so you dating? He's like, yeah, Pop, but every girl I run to is like either needy, divorced, demanding. And his father's just spitting facts. I mean, first of all, hold on. How can we miss this? Motherfucking his father is, I believe, Harry Lennox, who played in the black classic Five Heartbeats as Preacher, I believe. Whatever his name was. And he also played Mr. Wright in motherfucking Love and Basketball, Monica's father. So we gonna give a round of applause for Mr. Harry Lennox for playing iconic figures in classic black films. But anyway, he's spitting facts. He's like, relationships take work. It's hard work. And Lawrence, for whatever reason, has this perception that his parents, from what he's seen of his parents, was just like easy. They met, they fell in love, got married, and that was it. And he's like, no. Like, that's just what you've seen for the past 30 years. But you don't know what we did to fucking get to that point. Like you said, like you talking about you don't want somebody who has too much baggage. Excuse me. You want somebody who has too much baggage. Your mother and I had Mac and luggage, and we made that shit work. So Lawrence is like, he's at the place like, whatever, Dad. You don't understand where I'm coming from, Dad. You don't understand, man. So he hands him his phone and for him to record his voicemail. And he's like, you got to make your own fucking happy ending. Not realizing that he was talking into his voicemail and that was now going to be his message. So it's time for Issa's birthday. She's turning 30. And what we have learned after Issa's lunch with Molly is that, because for those of us who are trying to worry about how much time had went by, it's been a full year. Because she said her 29th birthday last year was a fucking mess. Last year she was with Lawrence. Last year she broke up with Lawrence. Then she went on that hoe phase. Then she was with Daniel. She was living with Daniel. Then she moved out. So it's only been a year since these 3 seasons have taken place in a year. So now we have a concept of how things have happened and the time frame in which things have happened. So, uh, well, I cannot do videos with. I'm not even. You know what? No shame in my game. I chew my fingernails. So if y'all ever happen to take a glimpse at my hands and y'all see my nails and y'all don't see them anymore, it's because I tore that motherfucker off and I'm chewing it. We gonna get through this video though. But anyway, so she's heading over to Issa's house to take her out for her birthday because it's Issa's 30th birthday. And while she's in the car getting ready, who the fuck does she see in her motherfucking her front mirror? I don't drive, so I don't know if that was the right mirror. I know it wasn't her rear view because the rear view's on the side, right? So in her head mirror, I don't know, but she's seeing that bitch in her mirror. And he's walking up with this small little humble size bouquet of fucking flowers. And Molly's like, oh, hell no. Molly got out that car so fast and confronted that motherfucker like, what are you doing here? And he's just like dumb. He's dumb. He's just like, he came to talk to Issa as if nothing hasn't happened. As if he hasn't been gone for a fucking month. He goes to talk to her. And then one thing I had realized was that, okay, Issa was talking about she hadn't seen him in a week. And then Molly lets us know that now it has been a full month. Go back in the room. It has been a full month. I'm like, that is crazy. A full month of no calls and no texts. And I had told y'all this in my last video, like a week. Like, I can understand like talking to you in a week, but a month, it's like, okay, nah, we done. Like, Lauren said he and Issa were done. There's no way you can go a whole month without talking to me, and we're still gonna continue the way we were without the right motherfucking steps being taken to get us to that place. But a month? Are you serious? So Molly's like, no calls, no texts. What the fuck is wrong with you? She's happy. It's her birthday. You guys to get the fuck on. And I'm about to call him Lawrence. Nathan has his tail between his legs, but he admits defeat and he gets the fuck on. It's like the nerve of you. And the way, like, he was casually walking up there like everything was all good. Like, you are an idiot. Like, you have to be narcissistic to think that you could just not talk to somebody for a month and then just walk up, bring this weak ass bouquet of flowers, and that was gonna be it. Now, I agree with Molly doing that shit because it's like, even if it was for me, you do that shit for me, especially if I say I don't want no drama, no nothing on my birthday, so I can enjoy my birthday. If Molly didn't fucking intervene right there, intercept Nathan's ass, she would have been fucking stuck on stupid that entire day and would have ruined the birthday and ruined everything that Molly had got going on. So Molly was not taking where the fuck Issa wanted to go that she mentioned at lunch because, like she said, they're not dating. She has something a lot more casually cool for her birthday plan. So she has her ass blindfolded and she brings her to a park. And Issa's like, bitch, where the fuck are we at? Because we drove too long to still be in Inglewood. She like, wait a minute, is that motherfucking Taylor Swift playing in the background? Are we in Beverly Hills? You took me on a Beverly Hills shopping spree. And Molly's like, bitch, we are not dating. That was hilarious. She's like, bitch, just take the goddamn blindfold off, take it off and look. And she's like, oh, okay. It's a line. It's this a line or is there food at the end? Like, what the fuck? And she's like, look, bitch, The Last Dragon is at the end. Your favorite blaxploitation film from the fucking 70s. Kelly's in there saving our motherfucking seats and we about to have fun. Meanwhile, they're talking, and she's like, bitch, she's letting her know about the law office and everything because she tried to break bread with Torian, take her advice, but Torian was unavailable. Wait a minute, did I jump the gun? I probably jumped the gun. So let's get back over the gun. So Molly was gonna take Issa's advice, but his ass was in there talking to the partners. And Karen informed her that the partners and Torian wanted to have a sit down with her. And I'm like, oh my god, Molly about to get fucking fired. Torian did some whole shit and was like, hell nah. This bitch with this motherfucking cheap ass 30-pound wig is not about to come up in here usurping me from the partner track, okay? And she goes in there and she's just like, you could tell her heart was beating through her motherfucking chest. So, so she goes in there, she sits down, and the partners, did y'all notice every motherfucker in there was bald, including Molly? I'm like, god damn. Bald heads. Ain't none of them shiny. All sitting at the goddamn table. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It's a conspiracy. But she sits down, and they're like, Molly, you did great work with Torian. Torian has an attitude out of this world. Torian is steam, and he's fuming. He's about to blow up with every word that they spoke. But it's like, yeah, you all did such a great job. We have this Nemetra case, and we would like the two of y'all to work together. Molly's excited. And Torian is just a pissed bitch. And he is throwing a hissy fit. Like, you can tell he did not want to work with her ass again. And there was a couple things I thought about this. Because it's like, you can tell, like I said, if Torian had the opportunity to do that presentation without Molly, he would have taken that opportunity. Like the fact that you have your partners here praising you and the work that you did together, and you just have an attitude because I gotta be careful because it didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. Like, you're the one who needs to be starred out an associate, and she needs to be promoted to partner because you do not know how to work together on anything. You like to be the loudest, you like to be the star in the room, and you like to do things your way. And that's not the way things work in the world. Things is all about, like, success is all about collaboration. You cannot get anywhere by yourself, okay? That's just not how it is. So, anyway, fast forward back to the cemetery graveyard theater. Molly's letting her know about that, and Issa's like, well, you know, you trying to analyze Keaton, your coworkers, is cool long as it works for you. And she's like, well, girl, yeah, this gonna get me on the partner track, and the sooner it gets me on the partner track, the sooner I could take you to Morocco. And Issa's like, oh, we are dating. So they proceed walking past tombstones, grave sites, and all this spooky stuff. And I was like, you know what? That would be so cool out here. But it's like, man, I do not want to go watch a movie at a cemetery. I do not want to watch a movie at a cemetery if it's not a scary movie. I just feel like it's fitting. We should all be in that bitch watching Nightmare on Elm Street or motherfucking Friday the 13th, Halloween. That would be great, I swear, around this time of year. I swear somebody should hook that up. But anyway, that's what we should be watching. We should not be watching a goddamn black exploitation 70s film. Like, come on now, not at the cemetery. But they're walking past that shit and they go see Kelly's big headed ass fucking taking selfies at their spot with birthday hats as traffic cones. And they're like, Kelly, why do you have so much space? And she's like, bitch, I'm not trying to have a repeat of Coachella until after we watch the movie. And that's when um, Molly informs Issa that she is now the godmother to Tiffany and Derek's unborn child. And she's like, ugh, now something happened. I gotta fucking take the baby. And Issa's like, wouldn't it go to the next I mean, the father first? And Kelly's like, well, bitch, if that's how that's worked, that's good. Because if I wanted one, I would have I would have kept the last one. And it's like, okay, so are we surprised that Kelly may have had an abortion or gave a baby up for adoption? Character development? No, what's that? Character development or backstory, whatever the case. So anyway, y'all, I'm so comfy on this couch. Whatever this is, I love it. This isn't the couch itself. This is just something that's on the couch, and I love it. I love sitting on it. I love what it does for decorative purposes. I can't talk today. But anyway, So they sit down and wait. I'm all over the place. Ah! So while Issa and Molly were in line, they ran into no other than, well, actually they didn't run into him. He ran into them. Lawrence ran into Issa and Molly. And Issa and Lawrence had a cool, corny ass exchange of lines from The Last Dragon. And he goes to go meet up with Chad. And while he walking away, Issa's just staring a fucking hole in his back. And Molly's like, bitch, you good? And Issa's like, oh, yeah, girl, I'm just looking at the back of his shirt. Her lying ass. Because if anybody paid attention, Lawrence had a plain green, weak-ass Adidas jumpsuit on with a fucking backpack on. I'm like, why the fuck did he come to a goddamn theater with a backpack on? Like, Lawrence, what is that? So anyway, even if there was some on the back of his shirt, Issa wouldn't be able to see it. So he goes and sits down with Chad and motherfucking Fast Mike, whom we haven't seen since, well, I think the first season of Insecure. I love how people from the first season have just been popping up in this third season finale, okay? But anyway, so he sits down and he's like, Chad, what the fuck are you doing with a purse, ass? Chad is fucking applying his motherfucking CarMax, and he's like, this is my fiance's purse. She didn't want to take it in a porta potty, which I can understand. He's like, it's Balmain. It's expensive as fuck, and I know that because I bought it, like Beyonce. And he's like, Lawrence is just stuck on stupid. He's like, when the fuck did you and Leah get back together, and how? He was like, how what? How the fuck she take your cheating ass back? He was like, what do you think? You acting like you don't know how love works. Actually, Lawrence doesn't know how love works because when his ex cheated on him, he left and so far hasn't come back. But anyway, he's like, I did a thing. She forgave that thing. Now we moved on. That's that was Chad's expression. He's like, oh, so just boom. That's how it was. And he like, nah, motherfucker, I had to put in work. And now we're back together. I wasn't about to start all over again. Not in my 30s, no sir. And as you see in this episode, we now see Lawrence just being propped up to take Issa back and to pursue her. Well, I don't know, pursue her again, but be susceptible to the idea of them getting back together, or to them just getting back together, and entirely. Because we see his father talk to him, and he's like, relationships take work. That you gotta make your own happy ending. And then you see his friend Chad like, yeah, I cheated, but we both worked past it, and now we are still together. And Lawrence is just like, he's just like, how? Like, how can something like that happen? And for me, when it comes to the whole topic of cheating, it just, especially this show in particular, have put it in so much perspective. It's like, before I used to think to myself, like, if someone cheated on me, I would just be done completely. But for me, before I just said I would just be done and just move on. But I think now I would be willing to do it again, but not so often. Like, if I see you again in 3 to 5 years and we decide that we want to try it again, we will try it again. But I used to think that I would just be done forever, and I just think that forever is just like way too permanent for something as short as life. You know what I mean? So Insecure really changed my perspective on cheating. I see you see in this show, people are trying to change Lawrence's perspective on cheating as well. Well, in his situation. So we get back to Issa and Molly and Kelly, because I went too far ahead, like I always do. I try my best to review this show in chronological order. I think in my time reviewing shows, I will get better at it. But anyway, so we see them sitting down and they're talking about all the little the ex-ghosts in a motherfucking graveyard being hunted. Kelly's just naming motherfuckers she's fucked and saying, fuck you, Quantrell, to motherfucking Quantrell in the distance, who didn't even know she was fucking there. It's crazy how motherfuckers be worried about you when you ain't worried about them. So she's like, fuck you, Quantrell. And she's like, wait a minute. That ain't Quantrell. That's just a motherfucker. I'm about to go speak to that Quantrell looking motherfucker. She like, I mean, fuck you, Quantrell. I meant the fuck you doing. Kelly has the best one-liners on this show. It's between her and Chad. They're both like the crazy friends. But anyway, she talked about how Lawrence, she's saying Lawrence was there too, and it's like, girl, you popped up in a motherfucking relationship graveyard just like he did, and they just one or the other. So the everyone's getting prepared for the movie, and Molly is in the concession line, and who does she see on his motherfucking phone? Jared, and she's like, Jared. So they go on. She goes on over there, and they're talking and whatnot. They're oogling each other like, man, I will still hit this. So she lets him know that she's not a judge yet, but he lets her know that he is now the regional manager of Enterprise, meaning he's a manager of several stores, okay? And that's one thing that Molly looked down on him about, like, oh, he didn't graduate college, he doesn't really have a future at Enterprise, and now he's the fucking regional manager. Meanwhile, Molly still hasn't made it to partner. Now, granted, she may still be making more money than him, because I don't know how much money. I don't even know what type of lawyer Molly is because we haven't seen her in a courtroom. So clearly she's not Maxine's show. Okay? So I don't know how much she may compare to a goddamn regional manager, but he did move on up while she is still fucking stagnant. Be that as it may, all of a sudden, a guy comes and interrupts their fucking conversation. And immediately, Molly just assumes that that's his boyfriend, and she just freaks the fuck out. And it was just so unnecessary for her to freak out to the level of, oh, let me make up an excuse to leave this bitch and run back and go gossip about it to the girls. It was like, really, Molly? It's that serious? Because with their whole thing, it's like, I don't like that was just real homophobic of Molly to do. Like, it's like you like Molly, but she's really fucked up. And it's like, man, how come in this season she's only had one therapy session? We definitely should have seen more. Because Molly isn't growing whatsoever, y'all. She is not growing. Issa's fucking growing right before our eyes, giving good advice, making better choices, and Molly is still dumb. Anyway, so she runs back and she tells Issa like, bitch, I seen Jared's gay ass and he brought his motherfucking boyfriend. And Issa wasn't even entertaining that homophobic foolish, and she's like, well, bitch, at least he happy, which is more than what she could have said for the both of them, because both of them still single, and still in stagnant careers, whereas he is in happy relationship with a fucking blossoming career. So, but while Molly was running off to go tell Issa that bullshit, she had ran into Lawrence. And then when she ran off, Lawrence had the opportunity to see where the fuck they were sitting with his fucking eagle eyes point of view as he was going to the goddamn concessions. So after that bullshit with Molly, and the movie was beginning to start, guess who brings some raisinets from the concession right in front of Issa's face? None other than Lawrence, who had to sit his big head ass down and start talking to her. So he's like, how's everything been going? How's the event going? And she's just like, man, it's just so hard. It's overwhelming, and I'm discouraged. And she's like, I'm just putting it on hold for right now because I'm really just trying to make the right choices. And Lawrence is just everything that he was saying that. Everything that Issa was saying to him was resonating with him in a way that I still have not been able to determine because I watched this episode 3 times already. No, 4 times. 3 times on my own, 1 time with someone else. And it's like you can tell as she was talking to him, what she was saying really was resonating with him. And it's like, because Issa's now at a place where Lawrence is, where he was trying to get something off the ground, but it didn't really work out. But the difference is, for everybody who wants to compare apples and oranges here, is that Issa is trying to do this while having a job, not while being on the shoulders of his girlfriend, okay? Lawrence didn't have a job. He didn't have any income coming in, okay? He and Issa were together for 5 years, okay? He was unemployed for 2 years. So 3 years, 3 years and no growth, okay? Whereas Issa just started this, but she still has her nonprofit. I mean, not her nonprofit, she's trying to get back in at the Beat Crew, but she has her home property manager job and she drives for Lyft. So she has that wiggle room to do something, to create something for herself, whereas Lawrence just had his girlfriend. And y'all know how I feel about that shit. He took advantage of her for 2 years, living on unemployment. So it's totally different. But that shit was resonating with him, and then he's like, I better get back because Fast Mike, fat ass, gonna eat all my taquitos. So he rushes off, and homeboy lets him know he's not a window, and the night was a success for for the people who came to enjoy the show. And Issa, she sees homegirl who worked with Tiffany, who normally does white ass events, and turned this shit into a blackbuster night. Issa goes and talks to her, and she's like, "Girl, how did you manage to get?" Oh, she Braid Ho, that's her name. So she talks to Braid Ho, and she's like, "Bitch, how did you do this?" And she was like, "You know what? I just had to be persistent. I had to go out there and hustle." And of course, a lot of motherfuckers told me no, but I had to figure out a way to get them to tell me yes, or a way to make them fucking submit to a goddamn fine. Just leave me alone. And that gives Issa the spark of energy that she needs to decide that she wants to do this shit again. So as she's done talking to Breho, she regroups with her friends and they bump into motherfucking Jared. And we see Jared, his brother, and two girls. And Jared introduces all of them like, "Hey, that's my brother and his girl, and this is my girl." And meanwhile, Kelly's looking at Molly like, "Don't look gay to me. What a gay at? I don't see the gay. My gay dog ain't ringing. How was yours?" She's looking at her like that. Molly's looking so fucking stupid, like, "Oh yeah, I see the resemblance." Anyway, so after the night, as the night wraps up, Issa and Molly are at Issa's in her bed for a goddamn nightcap reviewing the night. And Issa reveals to Molly that she still wants to proceed with the motherfucking Coachella. And Molly's like, "Bitch, I thought I told you not to do that dumb shit." Being all negative and shit. And she's like, "Nah, girl, I'm just gonna do this. You told me to trust my instincts." And Molly was like, "No, bitch, I told you to trust my instincts." And Issa's like, "Yeah, bitch, the same instincts that told you that Jared was gay just for you to look stupid when we've seen him with his girlfriend, telling you that he was not gay. Like, he really was not gay." He legit only had one gay experience, and that shit wasn't for him. So that was not him being gay. That was just you being homophobic. That's really what it was. And she's like, "Nah, girl, these instincts on fire because these instincts planned you a bomb birthday, a bomb movie, and bomb nigga control." Where Molly clearly overspoke because that shit wasn't even relevant to the goddamn conversation. But Issa's like, "Bitch, what nigga you controlling?" She's like, "Girl, Nathan brought his big head ass on down to your apartment with some whack ass flowers trying to apologize and shit, and I turned that nigga away." And Issa is just like through. She is through. Which is to me what which is to me is like, see, this is why Molly turned his ass away. Because you do not know how to act with this bitch right now. Like, you hear about him being in town or coming to see you, and then all of a sudden you just another bitch. So you clearly would have been another bitch if he would have came by and you would have saw his ass. But Issa's like pissed. She's like, "Why the fuck would you do that? Because I'm not like you. I don't just cancel these motherfuckers left and right. I give them a chance to fuck me over." I give them a chance to let them fuck me over more than once. And Molly's like, "Bitch, you was the one who said you didn't want no drama on your birthday." And she was like, "You should just let me handle this myself." And she's like, "Bitch, the way you handled it, having me at Andrew's house, a motherfucker I told you I didn't want to talk to no more, looking dumb while you was playing Harriet the Spy." And Issa was like, "Damn, she got a point, but she's still wrong because she should have at least told me." But it's like, Molly, Issa's right in that regard. Like, you should have told her after the fact, like after her birthday, not the night of her birthday. Like, it probably hadn't even been midnight yet and Molly told her that dumbass shit. She should have told her like the next day, and then but pleaded for her not to be mad. So she's like, "Girl, why would you do that? Like, you just been real negative lately." She has. And she's like, "Bitch, this is how I gotta be." And Issa brings up some irrelevant shit at work, and she's like, And Issa was wrong because Torian wasn't shit. Like Molly didn't just come out and just do him wrong. We seen how he wasn't shit from the beginning, how he only cared about his fucking self. And Molly's like, bitch, that's the way I gotta be if I'm gonna get anywhere at the fucking office. And Issa's like, do you? Because what you gonna be partnering with everybody hating you? Because that's not you and that's never been you. But it's like Issa at the same time, Molly has never been partner. Like at her old firm, like yeah, she was popular with Diane and Trevor and damn, who was that other bitch? What was her name? Helen? I don't know, but yeah, she was popular, but she still wasn't partner. So it's like, bitch, she wants more money. She wants status. So I think she already been popular. Now this time she wants success. So anyway, Issa's like, girl, they ain't never been you. And Molly's just like, shit. Maybe I have been assuming the wrong in people. But Issa, that was shit was so irrelevant because she didn't really assume nothing was wrong in Torian. Torian ain't shit. So anyway, so Issa walks off, and then Molly self reflects, and the next day, so we see motherfucking what did we see first? Oh, whatever. So Molly goes to the office, and Torian decides to tell her that he's no longer working with her on the goddamn Metro case. He told the partners that she got it, and assures her that she is more than capable of handling the case by herself. But for me, this is how I feel. I don't feel like he genuinely feels that. I feel like he's on some, oh, that bitch thinks she can do shit without me. Well, let's see how she do without me this time, okay? I'm gonna work with motherfucking whatever their names are, and she can do this shit herself. Now, I am so confident that Molly can handle this shit herself. Like one thing that we can say about Molly is that she does work hard. Like y'all seen that first therapy session she had when she built people a house and she works overtime and all that bullshit. So I'm more than confident that she can do this shit herself. And ooh, hand going to sleep. Anyway, but he didn't relinquish that case to Molly because he felt like she could do it herself. He relinquished that case to see her fall flat on her motherfucking face without him. Like he didn't feel like she could do it on her own. That's really what that is. And Molly's like, okay. And then she sees the three of them low par hoes working together. She's like, okay, whatever, bye. I'll be partner, and you hoes will just be working together all the goddamn time. I don't need none of y'all. But then she places a call to Andrew, to apologize to him and says how she doesn't assume the worst out of people and she was just in a bad space and she took it out on him. And he's like bullshitting, full of shit, talking about something he got things to do while he's on the couch playing fucking Fortnite. And then he wasn't that receptive to her apology. He was not really, he wasn't really feeling that shit. And Molly's just like, what else can I say? I apologize. I told you I was tripping. I explained to you why I was tripping, and you just want to be like this. That's up to you. Then we see Lawrence go to fucking dinner with the braid hoe. He goes to dinner with the braid hoe. No, no, no. No, no. We see Issa meet with the braid hoe. She meets with the braid hoe, and they're talking about an event that they're collaborating on, bouncing ideas off of each other. And I'm like, ooh, okay, this sounds great. And then at the end, Issa's like, girl, do you need me to lift you? Because I lift. And she's like, nah, I got a date. So then the date that she was talking about was the date that she had with Lawrence. And apparently she did scare Lawrence off when she told him that they were divorced. I mean, that she was divorced, but I guess he listened to his father and a little bit of Chad and was like, I'm going to give her another fucking chance. So I'm like, oh my God, this is setting up drama for next season because Braid Ho is going to be fucking Lawrence and Issa is working with Braid Ho, who Lawrence used to fuck, and that's going to be so awkward. Now, Issa very well may not even care because she is, I mean, never mind, I ain't going to say, but she's so into Nathan. So she's not going to pay attention, but it's like Lawrence is going to pay attention to how into Nathan she is, and he's going to be like, wait a minute. At a point in time, she was that into me, and now she's not anymore. and I'm not really into braid hoe, which is why I got rid of her the first time. Cause getting rid of somebody because they divorced is not really a real reason to get rid of them. It's like being rid of somebody because they got an ex-boyfriend. Like, bitch, everybody got some of those. And then the older you get, the more likely you're gonna meet somebody who has kids, has a baby daddy, baby mama, been divorced, or and they definitely have an ex-boyfriend. So it's like the older you get, you need to change the way you look at that shit. My bad, y'all. I gotta fix this. This motherfucking. Anyway, so at the end, as Issa goes home, she sees that weak ass bouquet of flowers, and she reads the tag, and she finds out that it is in fact from Nathan. So she gives him a call so they can meet up and talk. And the whole time she's standing there, like she's like, I want to talk to you, but I hate you because you ghosted on me. Say what you got to say. Shut the fuck up. You sound dumb. I want to just hug you right now because I ain't seen you in a month, but you ain't shit. Like that was her mood. Like the way she was standing there just reminded me of Peaches, and the way Shame was trying to get Peaches to come back to the couch and low down dirty Shame. She just rolling her neck and just looking the other way. It was hilarious. So he's explaining to her, like, he has some shit going down in Houston, and when shit goes down, he was just really negative in a bad space, and he wasn't thinking, and he apologized, and it was fucked up, and this, that, and the third. Literally like the worst excuse and the worst apology. But he did apologize. And Issa's like, bitch, I didn't ask you for any of this. Like, you pursued me, and then you just left me like it was nothing. And I'll say the most irritating thing with situations like that, especially if I'm texting, I'm calling you, is that with every text or call that I send you, you're literally swiping that notification to the left. Okay, you're literally just pressing the clear button, or you just letting the shit build up. But I think what's really irritating is the more irritating thought for me is for you just be swiping that shit to the left. Like that will really kill me. Like, oh, you see me, ignore it. Like, nope. So he assures her, that he's back for good. And Issa's like, okay, whatever. He's like, I hope we can talk again. And she's like, you know what? My tenants have issued complaints to me about me, which is hilarious. Like, bitch, how the fuck are they making complaints about you? So she's like, I gotta go. So she goes back inside, puts a vinyl on, cleans up her ragged ass apartment, makes it presentable, and that is the end of Insecure Season 3. Now, I have to say this, y'all. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was great. Season 3, I told y'all from the beginning, I felt like the first couple episodes were boring. And I think that's because Daniel was born, okay? Daniel was born. He wasn't funny. He didn't have any funny friends. At least with Lawrence. Lawrence brought Chad. Okay, Lawrence brought people. Daniel didn't bring anything but just disappointment. Like you want to be something that you just not gonna be. It seems like okay. You couldn't even be a good dude to Issa, so you definitely can't be a goddamn good producer either. So, them first couple episodes were just boring. The season didn't start getting good to maybe like episode 4 or 5, and then the last 3 episodes were better. Like this season just wasn't as it just doesn't measure up to the 2 previous seasons. Like it wasn't that great, y'all. But I'm still sad to see it go. And I just feel like if they're not gonna do, you know, 10 episode seasons, then they should just give us they can just continue to give us 8 episodes, but extend those episodes by 20 minutes. Princess Penny gave us some weak ass explanation because apparently people were fed up, like third season in, and y'all still on that same bullshit. But we'll see. But I love overall, I love Insecure. Like even though every season isn't going to be great, unfortunately, but I still love this show. I'm still invested in the show. The show is amazing. This show has inspired me to be creative in a way that I haven't been in a while. So hopefully I'll be able to get those things out. And this is my first time reviewing the show from start to finish. Well, from season beginning to season ending. But this was fun. This is my first time doing that. So, and I know it took me a minute. It's damn near been a week, but uh, y'all, it's here. I ain't gonna give y'all no bullshit excuse. It's here now, and we're done. Right now, I'm watching Greenleaf. I need another show to watch from beginning to end. Like I need another show to start from the beginning, and then I can just review that, and we'll do that. I may even get my mom. I may even get Mama Maverick to help me review some of these shows. But that has been my review of Insecure. Now y'all know. Follow me on all social mediums. I'll follow back. And also, if you have any viewer questions, you can submit them to AskTheMaverickQuestions at gmail.com. Y'all have just rolled the Maverick.